And I'll go to the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Pfluger, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Secretary, is there not a presumption, a long-standing presumption through many Department of Energy studies that LNG exports are in the public interest?
There has been, yes,
When was the last study completed?
in 2018.
Okay. And what did it say?
It allowed for the conditions in which it's a public interest. At that point,
Did you, when you took over as Secretary, did you believe that 2018 study, that it was in the public interest?
I didn't have any reason to dispute it. However, since 2018, we were exporting at that point 4 BCF. Today, we have the capacity to do 14 with up to 48 authorized. And so that's such a huge volume increase.
Amazing increase, and it probably, a lot of it is in my district and other producing areas. By the way, you're still invited out there. We're waiting on you to visit. Do you agree that the Natural Gas Act authorizes you, the Department of Energy, to both conduct environmental studies and permit reviews simultaneously while conducting another study?
It does authorize us to.
Are you doing that?
No.
Why?
We're putting a hold on while there's all this stuff in the queue for the study, so that we know when we authorize next what that will
So it kind of
look like
seems
in
like
terms of the
more
public
of a
interest.
ban than a pause.
It's not a ban.
But you would,
Sure. It's not a
every
ban.
administration previous to this administration has done both simultaneously. Why
no,
are
that's
you
not true.
That is true.
I don't think that's true. I think
Please
there's
provide it-
one that was and one that wasn't.
Please provide us, even the Obama administration did this.
Yeah.
So let me just move on to the next subject. I asked you last year if you were the principal advisor to the President of the United States on energy issues. You said you were one of the principal advisors. So who are the other principal advisors
Well,
by name?
Ali Zaidi represents the Climate Office, the President's Advisor on Climate. John Podesta
Okay, so
also.
when did you make the recommendation on or before January 26th to pause exports of LNG? Was it your recommendation to the President? And did that occur in the White House?
That was my recommendation.
Did anybody else join in that meeting?
We have a group that joins to advise the President, yes.
Was John Podesta there?
Yes?
Did you meet with TikTok LNG critics with John Podesta?
No.
Did John Podesta meet with TikTok LNG critics?
I have no idea who he's met.
Did anybody in your Department of Energy, any of your undersecretaries meet with the TikTok, I think Stop LNG
I don't know who that
influencers?
is. I'm sorry. No.
Okay. You're familiar with the reporting and the admittance of those meetings with John Podesta?
I am not.
Talk me through, I want to put myself in the cabinet room and understand what you told the President that has changed on our ability to export LNG to our partners and allies around the world, and why now? Because it seems very politically motivated. So tell this committee why it's not politically motivated, and talk us through what did you tell President Biden to say, this is an existential threat, we cannot approve any other LNG exports to non-FTA countries right now, we have to pause it. Talk us through that.
That's not what we said.
But you recommended that we did pause it.
Pardon me?
You did recommend to the President, it was you.
Pause for the study to answer the questions.
Right.
Because
So-
we have such an explosive growth in LNG exports.
Okay.
And the last time we did it, in 2018, we were only exporting 4 BCF, and
Do
we
we
now
have
have
a s-
authorized 48 billion.
Do we have a
cubic feet.
study?
Pardon me?
Do we have a study right now?
Right now? No,
Yeah.
they're in the process of doing that.
Who is they?
The national laboratories.
Which national laboratories?
The National Energy Laboratory in West Virginia, NETL, and the PNNL in West Washington.
But we don't have a study, but in previous
They're in the
reports,
process of doing the
you've
study.
said that they'll be wrapped up by the fall, but we don't really know much about it.
No, I don't know that I said that, but I've said in this hearing and in others that it would be by the end of this year, maybe the beginning of next year.
Okay. Talk to me about what allies have said to you, because there's only 14 FTAs, right? Mm-hmm. So what have our non-FTA allies said in response to this ban? Well, I'm sorry, pause.
When we've told them it doesn't affect any existing
Yeah.
exports or any that have been authorized, that it will not affect the amount of LNG coming to them, that they'll still be able to access, and this will only last until the end of this year, they are perfectly comfortable.
Did you see the letter from the 35 members of the EU Parliament?
I did.
And do you agree with that, or do you disagree with that?
Well, I think they are operating under misperception.
I think they're operating in reality.
Well,
That
no,
the
they were
reality
not.
is that we have long-term contracts. So do you believe that the pause has a negative effect on long-term contracts?
Not the ones that are currently in operation.
Did other companies give you negative feedback? Because your Undersecretary Crabtree told me that they were not pleased.
I understand that some in the industry who may have pending authorization requests were not happy, but our review is in the public interest and not in the interest just of the oil and gas industry.
My time has expired. Thank you. Yield back.
Gentleman